All right, welcome back. We're going to continue where we left off on the last session, talking about theory. I've got a short analogy. Life is like a box of chocolates. But we'll spend the next few minutes just talking about the three different perspectives and how I relate them to the life is like a box of chocolates. So let's get into it real quick. All right, so we left off talking about the idea of common sense and understanding and knowing what's true. And say we're going to continue on with the idea of theory. And theory is just a way or an attempt to explain behavior, actions, interactions, problems, whatever it may be. But the idea is that we each develop an attempt to explain behavior. We try to explain what we see around us. Theory can be anything as specific as poverty, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. It can be thing as wide ranging as economic systems like capitalism. Large scale social change. So theory can encompass lots of different things. There's not one specific way in which we build theory. It's just we see things over time. We develop hypotheses. We want to go out and measure these hypotheses, see if we can collect data that will support the hypotheses. And if we test it enough times, we find that over time things can be true, then we develop theory. And I would argue that we all develop theories over the course of our lifetime to help explain why things happen, why things occur. And so we're going to look at two general categories of theory, the modern and postmodern theories in sociology. We'll focus mostly on modern theory throughout the course of the semester. We'll also discuss postmodern theories, postmodern takes on sociological theory. And many of the modern theories come from Durkheim, Weber, Marx, Parsons, Emil Durkheim, Max Weber, Karl Marx, Talcott Parsons. And the reason I say life is like a box of chocolates is because they all provide a general perspective, this nice package of how to look at things and how to see things and how to explain things. And many times it can be kind of condensed down into a statement, a few words, maybe just a word. For instance, Marx would focus on social conflict or class conflict as a way to explain behaviors, interactions. And so I argue that life is like a box of chocolates represents modern theories because these theories are nice packages. They're nice and they're kind of kept well, and they're got if you can imagine a box of chocolates during Christmas or Valentine's, they're wrapped up nice and neat. What's on the inside really isn't that important. What we're looking for is just an overall perspective of how we can explain things. And so these modern theories try to explain, as it says in the slide, all of human history. And so we're looking at trying to explain human interaction, human behavior, human actions throughout modern history. And for Durkheim and Weber and Marx and Parsons, these can be again, brought down to one or two words, or a statement or an ideology. And so it's a very nice wrapped up package. It's, here you go. And what's inside matters, but it's the overall perspective. Where postmodern theories reject the idea that we can try to explain all of human history like Weber and Marx and Durkheim do. They tend to focus on more specific things. And so when you open up that box, you have very specific things inside. You have your cherry cordials and your caramels and your turtles and everything else. And the idea that you're not trying to pick just one to explain everything, but you're picking one to explain very specific behaviors, very specific things, like consumption patterns. People go shopping because they're bored is a very specific theory focusing on a very specific idea. I'm not trying to explain all of human history. I'm just trying to explain a specific set of behaviors that I may or may not have observed over time. And so the idea that life is like a box of chocolates, well, as time goes by, your perspectives might change, and you might pick one chocolate out or one theory, and over time it may not work for you more, and you may try another one and another one and another one. And through the course of your lifetime, you're always going to have different perspectives. You'll see the world differently based upon your experiences. And our postmodern theorists tend to reject the idea that one theory can explain all behavior of all humans, so to speak, throughout history. And so these postmodern theories reject that idea, and they try to offer up more specific or more singular theories to explain more singular ideas. So this idea that modern and postmodern conflict, well, they in some ways they do, but a lot of postmodern theories are built upon the modern theories as their foundation. So many of these postmodern ideas come from modern theories or modern perspectives, like the functionalists, like conflict, symbolic interactionism, and others. But the idea is that it's kind of an evolution from one to the other, from the modern to the postmodern. And as the world changes, there are different ways to explain things. So we'll focus more on the modern theories throughout the course of the semester, but we'll go back to the postmodern theories. We'll look at some of those, and we'll visit some of those theorists as well. But the idea is there are two types of theories, modern and postmodern theory in sociology, and we'll focus on modern, the three theories of the first assignment most often, and then we'll come back and we'll visit some of the postmoderns as well. And so that's a short take on sociological theory. If there's any questions, concerns, you can see me in class or you can email me, and have a great rest of the week.